Hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear. And hey, this is a podcast for the chili egg community, by the chili egg community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing episode here tonight. We have one sauce on deck for Hot or Not. We have an amazing guest locked and loaded. And we have a very fun game of Keep 5, Cut 5. So let's go ahead and start episode. Welcome on in, Swear Nation. So glad to have everyone here. Man, if you're tuning in on Spotify, Rumble, YouTube, Apple Podcast, thank you so much for being here. If this is your first time checking out the show, thank you so much for being here. We're continuing to grow the podcast, so share this out with other like-minded chili heads, individuals that are curious about the world of spice, really trying to push their tolerance and try to figure things out. Maybe they're just wanting to get going. So send them on over here because this is where you can get everything to do with the world of hot. Up tonight, we have an amazing guest locked and loaded. We have a sauce on Hot or Not tonight. That is going to be a buffalo wing sauce. I cannot wait to dive into it. And of course, we brought in Keep 5, Cut 5. So don't forget, you can drop your comments down below if you would have played the game differently. All in all, this is going to be a very fun, cram-packed episode. So let's go ahead and kick it on over to Hot or Not. Hey, welcome on into Hot or Not. We have one sauce on deck tonight for Hot or Not. We have 716 wing sauce. So looking forward to jumping into this one. I have seen some amazing things roll out on socials, just some great overall interaction and involvement with the community as a whole around this sauce. So looking forward to checking this one out. So, hey, if this is your first time checking out Hot or Not, I do things a little bit different here. I don't do a 1 out of 10 scale. I do a 1 out of 5. That's based off of 5 different categories. Those categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. From that, I add them up, get our average, and that is our total swear word rating. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this sauce. So, once again, 716 wing sauce. Give it a good shake. Nice size bottle. This is what, a 12 ounce? So, very nice volume of overall sauce here. For all those that are keeping track, this does have a perforated tear tab, so go ahead and get that going. There we go. And off to the side. And once again, do not like to read the ingredients or take a look at what's going on in them until after I've had the chance to try the sauce itself. I like to let my taste buds do the exploration. So, get this cracked on open here. A nice wide mouth lid. Extra seal sitting there. Let me put that back in the top of the lid. And we will jump on into it. Oh wow, right off the bat. Phenomenal aroma. You're definitely getting the peppers, the zing of what smells like cayenne really coming forward. I'm salivating just already like imagining how amazing this is going to taste. And then from the cayenne, you're smelling a nice, soft, creamy, inviting a note that kind of hits the nose. A little bit of like an herby complexity maybe in this as well. So looking forward to it. Here we go. 716 wing sauce. Nice, healthy pour. I mean, from a pour standpoint, as I make a mess. From a pour standpoint, it has a nice hold. That messer that I just made right there was simply because I tilted the spoon instead of the bottle. Just a processing error on my own end. But here we go. Cheers. Wow. Soft, silky, tasty, inviting all off the bat. It is just this phenomenal overrush of just comfort that kind of comes in with this one. Now, as that creamy, amazing nature hits, obviously it's going to react a little bit different on, say, a hot item like a wing or, like a buffalo chicken sandwich. Either way, because of the heat that kind of comes in there, it's going to make this not be quite as a firm sauce. It'll be a little bit more on the thinner side so that it really coats and sticks. But that body, that gloss, that creaminess that comes through this sauce is absolutely amazing. You're picking up, you know, all these great, soft, kind notes. It almost just very much tastes like a very spicy butter. The way it melts in your mouth, absolutely phenomenal stuff here. And then as that's carrying through, you're getting what tastes like maybe a little bit of garlic, but from there you're getting a nice cayenne taste carrying through, and it is just this beautiful body of the creamy, savory nature and that cayenne the whole way out. Now, you have about I would say probably about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds before you really start to get greeted with the cayenne. You are, it comes on nice and quick. So as that nice subtle start comes in with all that great flavor, you're having that transition and it flips on you pretty quick. So, absolutely amazing stuff here. Chef, you have this knocked out of the park. This is absolutely a home run here. Um, Tasty, absolutely tasty wing sauce. Now, if you're just starting out, let's talk about it from the perspective of those individuals who may not be as accustomed to spice as, say, some of us, but they this is one that you would be able to use, you would be able to enjoy, and not really burn yourself down too bad. Now, once again, if you're just starting out, brand new, moderation's key. Maybe you're gonna go in for the ranch dip to cool yourself off. Maybe you're just gonna take a few bites and kind of switch it up to a different ingredient or a different side to be able to eat. All in all, absolutely amazing. I can only imagine how amazing this would go, not only on the wings and on, say, like a chicken sandwich or a burger, but I could see this going phenomenal on like a buffalo chicken pizza, like that. That would be the key sauce to use right there for that, as well as being able to toss this and coat this on some fries. Oh, that would be absolutely amazing. Some tater tots, something like that, to really where it brings out that crisp, hard edges, and hitting it with this just to kind of soften those potatoes up and give all that flavor and all that heat. Man, that sounds like a home run to me. Let's go ahead and read off some ingredients here. All right, so Chef Johwan 716 wing sauce ingredients are cayenne sauce. We have distilled vinegar, water, salt, garlic, honey, butter, and spices. Not honey butter as one ingredient, but honey, comma, butter, and spices. Man, absolutely amazing stuff here. Let's see what else is going on. So it says 716 is the old address where Chef Johwan learned how to cook. Being the oldest of three boys, he had to learn quickly to create meals like ones using this wing sauce. Fry, grill, smoke, or air fry your chicken wings, then toss them in the 716 sauce and enjoy. I mean, absolutely spot on with this wing sauce. Knocked it out of the park. Chef Johwan. All right, let's go ahead and read off these scores here. So for 716 wing sauce, we have heat coming in at a 3, aroma of a 4.1, flavor of a 4.2, versatility of a 4, burn of a 3 for a total swear word rating of 3.66. There we go. Another amazing sauce. This right here, this wing sauce, is definitely one that you're going to be able to enjoy. It's going to be nice and have a nice uptick in heat compared to what you would commonly find at your grocery shelves. So highly recommend checking this one out. I'll have the links for that down below, as well as the direct link to Chef Johwan's website, so you can check out everything that he has to offer. But let's go ahead and jump on over. All right, here we go. We are starting out tonight with Keep 5, Cut 5. We are going to use this as our fun icebreaker. So here we have a very curated, specialized game. Obviously, the man with the amazing wing sauce has to have a game that's kind of derived around wings and everything that kind of goes into it, all the fun. So let us dive on in. Up first, for all those that are listening and just here now tuning in and you're unfamiliar with it, this is a game of keeping. There's 10 items on the board. I will list those off, and we will go through, and you can select to either keep one or cut one and just keep that alternating routine going as we go through. We have ranch dressing for obvious reasons. I mean, like I said, this is curated for different wing situations. Then we have New York. 716, that's New York zip code or area code, right?
Yeah, that is the zip code, but the 716 represents something a little bit different.
Okay. Well, that's why that one made the also, buffalo wings, kind of goes hand in hand.
Definitely.
And then number 3, well, this one's straight off your site. This is, a connection to the community. So this could either be community events that you're going to, vendor booths, etc., all encompassing in that.
Pop-ups.
Yep. And then, of course, we had to have one in here that is your sauce, because ultimately now you have to use, potentially twisting your arm to use a keep on one of those and reducing your overall amount of things to keep. And then we have up next the dreaded, ever so discussed battle of wing versus drum. So number 5 is the flat and number 6 is the drum. So we will see how that one shakes out. And then 7, of course, a lot of wings are consumed watching football. And number 8 is the commercial kitchen, getting in there, having fun, mixing it up, creating some new things. Number 9, well, once again, I already had one sport in there, so I had to throw in another sport that's very well known for just smashing back some wings. There we got basketball, and then Florida. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get this one started. What would you like to keep first or cut first?
Oh, I'm keeping the sauce all day.
All right. See, there we go. I knew that one ended up snagging one of those keeps, reducing the amount that was available, but little of a dirty trick, but at the same time, a great chance to select one. So, all right. What would you like to cut next?
I would cut the ranch dressing.
All right, cutting ranch. Are you do you like any kind of dip with your wings or no?
Nah, man. I got a good story about that. I really don't do a mayonnaise-based sauce at all. As far as the blue cheese, the honey mustard, the ranch dressing, anybody that knows me, that's a 86.
All right. Fair enough. All right, what would you like to keep next?
Football.
Keeping football. Like it. What did you without having to get into the full nitty-gritty, did you watch the Super Bowl? Were you happy with the outcome? How did that shake out?
I was happy with that. I was happy with the outcome. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Okay.
But I was happy with the outcome.
Okay. I like it. All right, what are we cutting next?
We're going to cut the commercial kitchen.
Cutting the commercial kitchen. All right. Got it. There we go. You want to keep or cut next? We can do either.
We can cut.
Okay.
Statue of Liberty, New York.
All right. New York, you're gone.
Just because I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan and I'm from Florida.
Okay. I like it. Here we go. We have a keep on the board. Where would you like to go with this one?
The community events.
All right. I like it. That definitely seems to be near and dear. Can't wait to dive into more on that here in a little bit. All right. Well, we have only 4 remaining for all those that are watching and listening. We have flats, we have drums, we have basketball, and we have Florida. Well, I think I can already see one that's for sure going to be another keep, but
Oh, yeah. So let's go with Florida.
all right. Keeping Florida. Next up, we have a cut. Where would you like to go?
We got to go to the drums.
All right, all right. I like it. I am much more. I'm much more team flat, but I'm also much of the same, outlook that
Exactly.
we've been kind of cheated. We've been told that these are wings, but really the whole thing
Yeah.
together is a wing. So,
Yes, the whole thing together is the wing. Yep.
all right.
So
What would you like to keep, or what would you like to cut?
it's gonna be the wings. We're gonna keep it.
All right. We are gonna keep the wing. So the flat is in, basketball is out. Man, oh man. All right. Well, I mean that was pretty straightforward. Is there any of these that seemed like it was a little bit of a harder, more difficult decision to make?
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay. What
Yeah, I'm a basketball fan, but not like it's not right now.
yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up with the Jordan era, watching him really just blaze, retire, come back, retire, all the
Exactly.
thing in between. So to watch, I guess really the last part I stopped watching was Nowinski and Kobe was like kind of the cutting edge of, and then when
Yeah.
LeBron came in, I was starting just to kind of lose it because it came more theatrical than it was just on talent. And then now, I mean, he's starting to
Exactly.
show a little bit
Exactly.
more of his skill, but the showboating and all the stuff is, eh.
Yeah. And yeah, same thing.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, that was a nice way to start the overall conversation and getting this one rolling. Let's do
Okay.
this. Let's go ahead and kick it on over to the interview. Well, as you saw there, it was a very fun way to start out this episode with the icebreaker being the game of Keep 5, Cut 5. So, Chef, thank you so much for being here. Cannot wait to dive into your amazing sauce. Obviously, you had it here on Hot or Not tonight. Was blown away by the overall flavor, the creaminess to it, the very nice subtle butter notes, but not leaving out any of that great pepper flavor. So, one thing I always like to start out with is what got you into the world of spice, and what made you decide you're going to start making your own product.
To take it back, I always worked in like different types of restaurants, and my strength has been steakhouses, different things like that. And I guess for one period of time, I worked in sports bars, and you have the casual fans that come to the sports bars. They'll be like, I want something super hot. I know you got the buffalo sauce in the bag. I know you got the Cajun Korean sauce, but I want something different. So, and I just started creating some different things, and I went with that spice, and guys just liked it. So that's like over 10 years ago, really. And I've always had it in my back pocket. Like I go to different parties and like, man, let's make something different. I'm like, okay, watch this. And I whip it up and I do things like that, and everybody likes it. And then I did it again, and boom, boom, boom. It was just a hit over time. And then it just really kind of stuck with me. And I just had it in my back pocket for almost like 10 years. Just like, you want to taste something different? I got you, dog.
There we go. I like the I guess really it sounds like it was more of you had something in mind, but then you also were able to have a live action testing pool over time to really refine and hone in.
Yeah, definitely.
How many changes and iterations did you have to go through before you got to where you are now?
Oh, man, probably like 20.
Okay.
Probably 20. Because when I first started doing it, like I was in the restaurant, so they already had a base sauce available. It
Mm-hmm.
either was Frank's or it was something like that. So I would take that and do it. And then once I started getting on YouTube and watching other guys like cooking down the peppers and stuff like that, I'm like, let me try to do it like that. And I just started doing like that over time. And I still did the basic sauce, because I knew that was a winner.
Yep.
I know people taste it, I know they accept it, but just over time, I was like learning how to do the cayenne peppers and cook it down. And once I got to that part, then I had to pick my honey, right? You know what I'm saying? That's the sweetness in it too also. And I went for pure honey because I was driving in this area and this guy has this pure honey truck. And he has pure honey selling it. And I was like, one day I just picked it up. I'm like, let me get this honey and try it. And when I did, I was like, this is it. This is the cutting edge right here. And that's when I went with that one. So it took a lot of different variations. But when I ran it on a professional setting, I kept it professional. You know, I used the sauce that was available because, you know, I'm trying to serve guests.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and the beauty of it is really the base that you have is so phenomenal and it's so packed with flavor that say you are somebody that's constantly pushing your own personal best, it leaves enough wiggle room that if you wanted to amp it up with say some pepper powder, you're able to toss that in. You're able to incorporate it without it disrupting the overall flavor and flow of what you have going on.
Yes, and that's why I went with the name wing sauce, you know, versus a typical hot sauce, you know, because I can adjust it, I can make it hotter, I can keep it mild, you know, that's why I went in that direction with just wing sauce versus hot sauce.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed too, from whenever trying the sauce, it was very, very creamy, very silky smooth right off the tongue, and had tons of flavor. Now, I also attribute this to the way that the sauce is built and depth to it. Really would shine, and I mean, maybe this is the case, maybe that was the intended purpose, but as those wings are coming out hot and you're hitting them with that overall sauce, the way that it emulsifies, the way that it will kind of stick and kind of become a little bit more of a glaze than say like a thick sauce, is absolutely amazing. So it was at the,
and that was that was the goal. That was the goal the whole time. And during the co-packing process too, also, that was one of the hardest things to nail down.
Yep. Well, and it's one of those ingredients too that you know, being able to try to work with butter or of any kind in a sauce is always a little bit more finicky. A little bit more has to be done to it, from what I've heard and what I've gathered. Now, with the use of that, I also noticed on your website, for all those that are unfamiliar, here I'll go ahead and pull that up as well. But I noticed that you had basically a slot open for some up and coming seasonings that you may be working on. What is going on with that? What is the thought process behind those seasoning blends?
Those seasoning blends, my mom came in, kind of brought that out of me. She's like, what are you actually putting on it as far as the chicken wings? Are you putting salt and pepper on the chicken wings? Are you doing this with the chicken wings? Are you just dropping the chicken wings in the fryer and just taking them up? You know, I'm like, no, I put seasoning on it. And she's like, well, you should put your red seasoning that you've been doing at all the family reunions. You've been doing, and all of this stuff I put on the website is things I've just been doing for years. Just keep it in my back pocket, And I have a spice company that's out of Florida too, also, that's putting that project together. It's actually finished. We're just waiting on the artwork.
Okay.
The packaging.
Very exciting. I see that you have the all-purpose, and then you have the bold. So, like, as far as I guess, is the bold going to be a lot more of? Is it just more of a flavor pop, or is it also more of a heat pop? How does that breakdown go?
It's gonna be more. It's gonna be more of a heat pop.
Okay.
More of a heat pop. That's gonna have. I don't go all the way through it.
Yeah.
It's gonna have like sun-dried Scotch bonnet peppers.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
that's
nice.
Gonna be the heat on it. And it has the essence of garlic and sun-dried shallots and different things like that.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing, beautiful to me, because I love Caribbean peppers as a whole. So I like that. That hits very close to my personal preferences in both flavor and overall pepper depth of what goes on. So super cool to hear that. I think the habanero is great for what it is, but there's so many other capable peppers that are in that same range that deliver a lot more flavor, and oftentimes will deliver more heat. So
yep. And that's why I went with that, man. Grilling vegetables and sprinkling that stuff suck on them vegetables with the butter, pulling it off. And
Yep.
a lot of clients was like, man, what is this like? It's not that hot, but I still taste the heat, and I still taste the sea salt on it, different things like that.
Very nice. Well, you had mentioned that like a lot of the products that you have and things that you have going on are derived more from stuff that you've been doing or you've been working with, and it's kind of been something that you've already essentially you're comfortable with how it is, and that's why you feel like ready for all those to be out. Is the I guess to tie back from that, uh, where did that inspiration come from? Do is there another cook in the family that kind of motivated you to become a chef, or how did you navigate those waters?
Okay, easy. When I'm an older gentleman, right? So I started off cooking when I was 15. My mother had got sick earlier in that time, and I have two younger brothers, and that kind of forced me inside the kitchen. So I had to learn how to cook.
Hmm.
'Cause my dad was working like a million jobs. He was trying to support. Mom was sick, and I was trying to play the bass guitar in the church. I was playing football. Then I had to come home, figure out how to make rice and how to make cornbread. And I learned quickly you can't make cornbread without eggs. I need eggs and cornbread. Trying to whip up recipes, and I got better at it over time. I learned how to work the grill. I learned how to use seasonings. I learned how to. One of my secrets, I pull the salt last. Because a lot of times when you first start off, you put the salt, now your food's all salty. You don't know, put that
Yep.
salt last and sprinkle on top of it. You can see it on top of it. You didn't go too much. But you can't take the salt off of it once you put it on.
Yep.
You'll be that guy with the water bottle splashing all over the grill, putting it out the fire, different
Yep.
things like that. That's where I really learned how to do it, and I really learned how to take constructive criticism. I had to learn that I worked with a lot of different chefs that was very hard on me in the beginning, and I worked with a lot of guys that said just do it.
Yep.
And I just took the good with the bad, and like I really take constructive criticism. That's why the products I have coming out, and I have different sauces coming out too. Also, it's already been test marketed already, so
Okay.
I kind of fully understand everybody's not going to like it, but somebody's going to like it.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean that's the beautiful part, I guess. To I want to hit on the sauce here in a second, but I wanted to tie back to something that you had mentioned just a second ago. Really, the idea of growing up and finding out that more or less having to take on the responsibilities yourself to be able to kind of get the cooking and everything done. Man, that is you know that is great to hear, and I assume that also is probably why you have much more of like the community-driven focus on your, everything that you're doing is because of your early on days of really having to figure stuff out and be able
Yeah,
to
no
craft that
doubt.
food for yourself and for your family. And
Yeah.
I think that is unfortunately because I was actually talking about this with my wife not too long ago, which is
Uh huh.
now where I've started to drag my kids into the kitchen, whether they like it or not, to have to learn
Yeah.
things because, like, I know how, sure, I know how to cook. I can do just about anything pretty decently. The only thing I don't
Hmm.
do, and that's just because I've always seemed to mess it up. And apparently it's supposed to be some of the easiest stuff, but I can't bake. Like I don't bake. The
Uh
idea
huh.
of precise precision whenever it comes to the baking is like, nah, that's
Yeah.
not for me. I do a lot
Yeah.
with the feeling, with the heart, the soul, what it's telling me to do, and go
Uh huh.
based on that. Um,
Yeah.
so no, that's super cool to hear because yeah, it is. Unfortunately it's starting to become one of those things that um, most kids these days aren't having to worry about because they're like, oh well, DoorDash this, Uber Eats that.
DoorDash. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. 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 And we're busy too. Also, so my kids are a little bit older, right? So they
Mm,
grew up with dad like really putting in the work.
mm,
Mom's putting in the work too. Also, so a lot of times like they all know how to cook. Like my son is a junior, right? So he's finding his way in the kitchen. He's doing extremely well in the kitchen. And I have a
very
younger
nice.
one, like she know how to whip that DoorDash. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah,
Yeah.
But and just to go back to the earlier years, that's why I went with the name of the sauce. 716 represents the street address where I grew up at.
Okay.
That's where I learned how to cook. And when I was searching for a name, I had to find something that was like close to the heart, that really means something to me that I can craft a story out of.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, it's also kind of like I, the way I read into it, for somebody that on the outside looking at it and they have no idea on the background, you kind of draw into, oh, okay, New York, Buffalo wings, okay,
Hmm.
and it kind of you can kind of connect the dots that way, multiple avenues of which this story can kind of unfold, and then it already
Yeah.
piques the curiosity in that sense, and then you hear the real reason as to why the name is, and it's much more. There's more impactful, more meaningful. You start to see all these things fit together really well.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
all right, no, I definitely like that. And to the sauce thing. Now, you had mentioned that you already knew that there was going to be some avenues where individuals may not, that sauce may not resonate with them, which is perfectly
Hmm.
fine. Yeah, to exactly to your point. Not everything is intended for everyone.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
with the idea of when you're going in and crafting these sauces, are you basing these off of like your own flavor profiles of what you were wanting to see, or are these based off of basically more or less benefiting a certain type of
My
dish
flavor,
or
my
recipe or
my
something?
my my my, my flavor profile.
Okay,
That,
okay,
that's what I went with. I've learned that that's just a lot more effective doing that way. Like
yep,
I actually kind of seen the end result of it. It's like when I did it, I was like, I want it to be sweet and spicy,
yep,
right? I wanted to coat the wings. I don't want all the sauce to be at the bottom of the bowl, right? So now you're like scraping it, trying to get it up. I wanted to coat the wing. I wanted to have like the pepper. I want to have like the garlic in it. So every bite, that's part of the trait, the chef. You cut everything the right way so you get every. And I kind of went with that the whole ride, all the way through. There's one ingredient that I can tell it because it's not going to be inside the sauce, but fresh chives that I want inside of it, and that didn't hold up during the testing product. But
uh,
do when I do different events, like I make sure I throw the fresh chives on, it gives a different color contrast to it too. Also,
yeah. I mean, that sounds like a great addition. Yeah, I could see where that would be a little bit of a challenge to incorporate inside of a sauce like that. But yeah, no, I mean, from a overall preparation presentation aspect for the end user, that sounds like one of those accent features that would be ideal to have. Whether you're sending it out in a little like info card or on the side of the bottle, or like as a hey,
yes,
try it with this, um,
yep,
because yeah, I can visualize it, and I've had quite a few different sauces, actually wings as well. Um, Actually recalling the second you said that, it brought me back to my honeymoon, whenever I was getting some wings over in Turks and Caicos, and they were like flipping it
okay,
up with some of that scorpion sauce, and that's how they kind of
yeah,
finished with the green onions chopped up in there.
uh-huh.
And man, that pop, that taste, which also leads me to the other thing, because obviously I'm hungry now. I'm thinking about all that. Do you like the idea of more of a grilled wing? There's a few different iterations. So like grilled wings,
Gotcha.
smoked wings. Do you like the fried wings? Do you like breaded? Do you like naked? How do you take your wings?
Uh, my first choice, it has to be breaded. I love it. I love it breaded. I love it breaded. I love it breaded, especially with the sauce. But the conception of the sauce was always fried, non-breaded.
Okay.
That's how
I
I
I,
did. And
I
that,
I definitely like both. I think there is a certain type of art form that is very rarely executed perfectly for a air, like either whether it be air fried or fried, however you get to it. But that crispy
uh,
skin, that's just the
yes,
right amount of crisp, but still leaving the inside nice and juicy. That ends
yep,
up hitting, and it is like, in my mind, man, that is my go-to. If someone can execute that perfectly, you
yep,
got it.
yep. I like the air fry too, because a lot of times you just put it in the air fryer, go do all your little side projects in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Do whatever you do at the house, and then next thing 20 minutes later, boom, take them out, and it's a little healthier choice too, also.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. No, I like that. Are you one that likes to, pack in a lot of seasoning inside the breading as you get ready to prep these wings?
I go basic. I give out my secret right here on this platform: salt, pepper, garlic.
Okay,
That's
okay.
gonna be inside the breading.
Yep,
Because I
yep.
know it's not gonna. I know it's not gonna take away from the flavor. It's gonna just enhance the flavor.
Yep. No, that's I mean, there's a reason why that Trinity has always been, and it'll continue to be, the reigning base for a
The
lot
right.
of things. So,
Yes.
I mean, you could use all three of those ingredients and not really mess up anything
Exactly.
that you're
Not really
making.
mess up anything. Yep. But when you start adding cayenne pepper to the flour and too much paprika to it, now the wings turn out super dark, and you put the now it looks burned, and nah, just salt, pepper, garlic. Let's keep it copacetic.
Yep, yep, absolutely, absolutely. Well, also for all those that are unfamiliar with this whole breakdown, wanted to go ahead and point out we mentioned it, or I mentioned it earlier, how wings are, as a whole, we've been kind of lied to from the industry standpoint of what a true
Oh
wing
yeah.
is. We're sold, whether you buy a 10-piece wing set or whatever, you're really only getting half the wings. You're really getting like five
Get five
wings.
wings. Yeah. Yeah, you get five wings.
It's crazy to think. I mean, I understand it from like a business standpoint. It's a little bit more in line with what the business needs, which is cool. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, like it would be nice. It would also end this debate of what's better. So
Yeah.
because then
Yeah,
you're
you just
getting
get both
both.
of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, just get the both. There you get the both. Yeah, I think one of the older concepts that was out, the Hooters was one of the last concepts that used to do the full wing,
yep.
and once they got away from it, it just disappeared.
Yep, yep. I do loosely remember that, and that was back. Also, I guess one of the last sauces they had. Whenever they discontinued it, I was like, I kind of have no purpose of like going back here because it was like the
Yeah,
only one that really stood out to me and had some
yep,
reasonable heat. And then I was just like, why did you take it off the menu? Well, we got this other one that's hotter, but it's like barbecue based, and I'm like,
yeah.
how is
Nah,
what? Like that's
nah.
not the same.
That's not the same. Yeah,
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh well. Now the fun part too about what you have going on and what you're doing is definitely with the spice blends. Now you're able to incorporate. It sounds like some of that spice blends whenever those roll out with your wing sauce and really be able to elevate what you're doing, whether that be game days, hanging out with the guys, whatever, and really bringing that overall pop and flavor together. So was that part of the intended purpose between those two?
yeah. That's the full line of product. I have three more sauces that will be available pretty soon. Um, we're just waiting on the artwork on that. I have my co-packer already has the recipes. Everything is ready to go on that. So I looked at the whole thing with a project from start to finish,
Yep.
really. So the sauce, the seasonings, the wings, and what's next. Because it's going into the retail market, right? Grocery stores. So they're asking what's next.
Yep.
So I can't get ready. I have to be ready.
Yep. Well, and I mean, at the same time, it's a great place to be. Someone's asking, there's that demand, right? And to
Yep.
be able to just, hey, that's a better place to be chasing the demand than trying to find the demand to chase down. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then that goes into what I was going to say as well. I know that last we had talked through email, you were talking about, having some, good success with talking to some local stores. Where can people find your products and how can they get a hold of you on the product side?
For the product side, the best way right now is on Amazon. It's definitely on Amazon now, and I have it listed on Shopify, and I have it on Etsy, and it's now going to be listed in my local grocery store. I'm just waiting on the contract to fully be signed on that.
Okay.
Um, but one thing I definitely learned about the retail grocery store side of it is everything moves slow. Like I'm in a hurry, my co-packer's in a hurry, my distributor's in a hurry, but the retail market, 20 days, 3 more days, 5 days. We're looking for more shelving. So that's a little tug of war there thing
Yep.
going on.
Well, and that makes perfect sense though, because and you hit on it as well. The idea of uh, not only you, but so many other companies are out there fighting for whether they sell the same thing that you do or not, all fighting for that same shelf space in that
All right.
location. So, and ultimately, oftentimes what you'll see is the reason why they'll have those closeout sales is really to just kind of clear out that shelf space for that
Clear
next
out.
product
Yeah.
coming in. And
Yep.
it's its own monster in that sense. I guess I know you said the process is kind of slow, but as far as the receptiveness to this, being in the stores, how was that experience for you?
Oh, that's a great experience. That's a great experience. The process is slow, but they've already got the product. They've already got the product in their warehouse. So it
Okay.
just moving it from the warehouse to the shelf is the thing that's like dropping me completely crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really. But the process has been a learning experience and a whole, Um, like I said, my career has been a chef for the last 25 years. So a lot of things we've done is like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So I had to recondition my mind to say this is a new career. This is something totally different because my chef skills doesn't necessarily translate into this field here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
No, that
I'm
makes.
a brand, yeah, I'm brand new. I'm a salesman now on this part of it.
Yeah.
And when I do speak with different salesmen, they're like, "Oh man, it's always been like that." Like, but once you get going, boom, and then now you go to full distribution, and then you get all the stores, and just be patient, be patient. Like they bought a couple cases already; it's going to be on the shelf.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. And I can definitely see where, tight deadlines, really trying to push out orders fast and all that is going to be, as you're saying, over 20 years of that mentally preparing your mind and really ingraining that deep into you. I can see where that would be a bit of a paradigm shift to have to kind of just take a step back and really keep reminding yourself of that.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I think what you have going on is definitely blowing away the competition of stuff that you can readily, availably find at those grocery stores. So, it starts there at your local grocer and then continues to build out. I think
yeah,
you'll have wild success with that.
yeah,
So definitely looking forward to it.
yeah.
You had mentioned as well you were not too long ago just on the radio. How was that? What was that all about? Was
Oh
that
man,
talking
that,
about your
that that's
sauce?
a that's a blast. Yeah. My local radio station it brought me in, and we did like an interview process. But they actually have different commercials running daily, like 16 commercials running daily, promoting the brand, pushing the brand. It's like I've been a lot of hits from that too, also. And now I get some. I learned this from somebody else. I purchased some bus signs that my
Okay.
logo is going to be wrapped around the bus signs. That's going to be around the grocery store, and I have direct digital mail coming out, and I have, direct mail coming out to the for the clients that's or customers that's in that area around that initial grocery store. Because the full growth that I'm trying to do is like the store has 63 locations. You start off with one, you execute with one, then they give you 63 locations. So the potential of the growth is through the roof. And with me mentioning the grocery store on the radio, that was definitely a plug for them.
Oh
And
yeah.
the day it actually hit the shelf, like I'm trying to bring like my family in. The radio station's going to be there. They're going to be blasting it. Like, oh, now it's available here at this grocery store, and it's a big event we got planned going on. So,
No, it sounds like a lot of fun. And
yeah,
exactly what you're just describing is one of the things that I really like to think of and embody, which is really, there's many different avenues to looking at this, but one is, a drop of water on a giant pond, right? You wouldn't think it does much, but you watch that
mm-hmm.
one drop hit and it hits and there's that puddle of impact and then those ripple effects as it
Ripples.
cascades
Yeah.
out. Right now you're the drop of water that's just hit that giant flat, and then now as that first store takes on, boom, boom, and it just
Boom.
continues to grow
Continues to
and
grow. Yep.
making waves all around the world. I like it. I love
Yeah.
the energy, the motivation behind it as well. It's always fun to watch and see the growth happen and to be a part of it. I know it's got to be an absolute blast whenever you're there and you're there with your family and your
Yeah.
product's finally on the shelf. That photo op moment, that chance to watch
Yeah.
someone else walk up and grab one of your products and go check
Oh
out.
yeah.
It's gonna be
That's what that's.
fun.
It's gonna be a blast, man. And I love it too because like I'm totally in on it. Like this is something I really want to do.
Yep.
Like, a lot of times we get caught up in, you hear a lot of people say they've been working 30 years on the job or 20 years on the job, but they never really tap into what they really want to do.
Yep.
And a lot of times we get caught up in what we have to do, and it's like a Coca-Cola bottle, but you put the clay on it, you start shaping yourself to the bottle, and you really think that's what you want to do, but that's not really what you want to do. And I'm really focused on now, this is what I want to do. And
Yep.
I'm having a blast. I'm falling in love with the journey. I'm falling in love with the challenges, because I'm learning a lot. It's like it's different. It's a different. Is more ways I could have done it, right?
Yeah.
But I appreciate the struggles I'm going through right now because I've learned so much along the way.
Yep. No, I mean, absolutely. I mean, very well said. There's so many people that do. Unfortunately, it's just kind of the way things are. Um,
Yeah.
the you have all those weird. So, like, I guess to really, really bring it back to, like, you go from being this child that's kind of carefree, living things in the world, and then all of a sudden you're a young teenager. You're conflicted with the idea of, am I still a child? Do I still have that childlike mentality where the creativity kind of can just run and be free, or do I now have to just form to be this adult? And that's
Yeah.
like that internal conflict, which then kind of bleeds into that time frame where, as a society, we should kind of be finding out who we are all
Hmm.
about, what we like,
Yeah.
and kind of catering our lives towards, that more so than what we're forced into, and as you're saying, like being
Yeah.
formed around that bottle to become
Yeah.
something else that we never necessarily wanted to be. um
Hmm.
and it I mean, that also ties back to what you were saying earlier, your passion and your drive and everything that you have behind your product, behind what you've done through with your life, with whether that be the catering, etc., working in different restaurants. That has kind of led you to this point to be able to have that passion pour out and be seen by
Definitely.
everyone. So your sales, hat that you're having to put on becomes a little bit easier because they can see the authentic self. They can see the true you, the passion, the love, the care behind what you're putting out.
Yeah.
So very cool. Very, very cool. All right. Well, I mean, you also had mentioned just ever so slightly the catering aspect, and obviously that's something that's on your website as well. Go ahead and pull that back up. As far as it looks like you have some overall explanation as far as meal prep club, etc. So what exactly is the meal prep club that you have going on? What are these other things? Is that something that's still live and in action? I guess for all those that are going to be checking out your website here later.
So the Meal Prep Club was mainly designed for me to tap into a different market. I used to do odd jobs like Uber at night and DoorDash, and I would pick up different foods and drop it off at the hospital, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would drop it to the fire department or the police department, and then I just looked at it like this is an opportunity because these working professionals are looking for a meal at nighttime, not necessarily they're wanting to get the DoorDash, but that's the option that they have.
Yep.
And I went with that one, and it's slowly moving. It's slowly moving. It's more of a hobby hustle right now because the energy level on the wing sauce is like it's picking up. I'm getting
Yep.
emails for this. I'm getting this for that. I'm getting this for that. And like it's really, really, really picking up. It's slow moving though. It's slow
Okay.
moving though. Not because of the product. It's just because the energy I'm putting on it, but it really serves my local community in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
county.
No, that I mean, that's great to hear, and the idea that you're providing an alternative for individuals that, like you're saying, they're wanting, their ultimate goal is to find something, food that's nourishing and good for their body, to be able to have something like that already customized and catered towards what their needs are. Definitely makes sense, and I can see where that also could go hand in hand with you know picking up as well with the idea of like having some either seasoning blends or things that are kind of incorporating, and then people are getting exposure and understanding of how
It's,
your products work in these foods.
yep, yep.
The
And that's where the
that
idea came from.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty ingenious. I like it. I definitely think that that's a great avenue to continue to dive into. The community aspect, how has this been for you? Are you just attending shows that are locally there in Florida? How does that overall play come into effect for you?
Um, Basically just doing ones here in my county.
Okay.
Um, I'm in Palm Beach County, so there's a lot of different events in this area that goes on. I got into community events because I spent 10 years being a youth football coach and just coaching the youth kids, different opportunities like that. And I kind of fell in love with that energy, being
Yep.
around people. I seen it was a niche inside that area, and I literally got in. And I used to be a very shy person, like speaking in front of people and stuff like that. And coaching the youth football kind of brought that up out of me. So now
Yep.
I was able to get inside of I have no problem speaking in front of people now, like zero issues.
Yeah. 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 No, I mean,
But the community events are very good. You know, it's a good opportunity for people, because you're the guy, right?
yeah.
You're the guy. A lot of times, you're there. You're hoping somebody comes to the table, or you have to be that guy. Go out there and bring them in. And the people was loving it. And that particular event there was awesome, right? Because I went there just to show a display and just to pass out business cards. And we passed out samples and passed out 3 or 4 different samples. And my youngest daughter, she says, "Dad, somebody wants to buy a bottle." I'm like, "Buy what?" She's like, "Somebody wants to buy a bottle." I'm like, okay. So she sold one, and that night we sold 57 bottles at a community event.
Man.
Like they just came out, just started buying it. We're passing out samples, so that as they were sampling, they was buying it, and things just kind of took off from there. It's like sometimes, like I say, we have to stay ready. You can't
Yep.
get ready.
Yeah, that's super cool to see, and to be able to, you had mentioned this earlier as well, like getting your kids involved with I guess really your oldest being able to start cooking and so on, but to have them, there with you during these events, watch them start to find that excitement, find that motivation, inspiration to really, maybe this is that obviously moment that also starts to catapult and turn those gears as far as like, what, this is a lot of fun. What do I like to do? And
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
great to hear and great to see that motivation and spark, so that spark happen. And you know, do you have the I guess do one of your kids tend to gravitate more so to being with you at these events?
Um, it's all the same.
Okay.
They're,
I
everybody goes where daddy goes. Everybody's
Yeah.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna go.
Well,
So there's not one.
okay.
There's not one gonna say I'm gonna sit home or whatever like that. It's like, okay, where we're going.
Yep. Yep. Okay. No, that's great to hear, because obviously you had mentioned your son's a junior, and it's like I know. So my oldest son is 15. He hasn't quite got to that point when I guess there's sometimes where he's too cool for whatever I may say, but ultimately,
Uh huh.
my son still, I guess, does also still kind of go and do whatever I have going on.
Yeah.
Um, but I didn't know if that maybe that was coming into
The
play a little
same.
bit.
That's it's the same. It's like they see the vision, they see it, but they're just like, okay, they're still in their own little world too. Also, I kind of think that as being like leaders of the family, it's
Yep.
like more of it's for us to do. It's for us to bring, like for the men to bring them along.
Yep.
You know, like your company, so you get exposed to it. I don't know if we have time. I can tell you a little quick story about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, one of my classmates, his dad was a major bass fisher, like championship bass. I mean, like big bass coming out to Texas. I mean, like big time. And his son is my classmate. He just wanted to chase girls the whole time. He's like, I'm not gonna be a fair. I'm not gonna be a fisher. I'm not gonna be a fisher. I'm doing something else with my life. I'm not gonna be no. Lo and behold, he's the number 2 bass fisher in the United States. Broke Scott Martin.
Man.
So it's like you got to bring him along because his dad brought him along too. Also,
Yep. Hey, I mean, it's definitely whenever you have that talent in the family and the know-how, the ways, kind of, you know,
it's just like with anything else, like being able to coach and walk through your kids on all the pitfalls and struggles that you may have encountered in life, and then be able to redirect that in a positive manner towards their life and really help them along is definitely crucial. I like it. Um, I can see where there's been kind of a fall off in just overall society as a whole, where that kind of hasn't been the case. But it's always, it's something that's just it's needed. You whether the intent is not to control or completely say like,
No.
hey
Yeah.
child, this is exactly what you need to
What you
do,
gonna do? Yes. Nah.
but it's to open them up. It's to give them experiences, give them the education in vast different areas so they can make that informed decision for themselves. So
Yep.
very nice. One other thing I wanted to touch on, you mentioned it earlier, playing bass, for your church. You know, I have zero reservations on expressing my faith. So, faith is very big to me. Also
Yep.
involved in the kids youth ministry with my wife at our church.
Okay.
Also,
Awesome.
doing some other things going on, services, etc. But that part right there is also a very pivotal moment. You mentioned the coaching aspect, but also just the overall involvement. Even being there, playing the bass up there, you're a face, you are a beacon of leadership towards your overall congregation, and that also helps, I'm sure, mold and shape you to be the man that you are today. And
Yes.
wanted to say thank you for that, because that is very important to continue to just teach and show our kids, ways that they can better themselves and better the community around us. And going back to that ripple drop effect, that is a
Yep.
cascading moment that continues to radiate
Yes.
out positivity. So,
Yes. I agree 100%. 100%.
well, here's the fun part of really being able to break down that nugget of knowledge. And this would be geared towards, let's gear this one towards those individuals that, they're already pursuing, whether they're a chef themselves or they're just heavily involved in the kitchen and have always been just inspired by things that they cook and they're able to do for others. What would be your nugget of knowledge for those individuals that are maybe on the cusp of breaking into entrepreneurship for that?
Um, Believe in yourself, definitely, and look for leadership. Look for leadership, especially find someone that's doing what you inspired to do. And anybody that doesn't believe in you, get them out your life. Like this, that's what I had to do. I had to find somebody that was not close to me, that was not near to me. I had to find a mentorship group, and you'd be surprised because anything you're feeling deep down inside, they'll tell you, I've already been there. Go ahead and do this. Because somebody that doesn't know where you're trying to go and you consult with them, they'll tear your dreams down because they don't
Absolutely.
understand it.
Absolutely. Very well said. Very, very well said. And definitely some solid advice for all those that are, battling with trying to figure out themselves, taking that moment, taking that hitting that pause button on as much as you can in life to reflect on you and what everything means to you
Mm-hmm.
is definitely crucial. So thank you for that. Now, the next part is really putting someone on the hot seat. This is a person that you think would make a great guest for the show.
My friend Jim Battle, he
Okay.
works at a hotel and he's an excellent cook. I mean, by far. He has his own little sauces going on, and he's kind of following me along the way. And I can suggest him come on your show.
All right. Well, Jim, I'll be reaching out and finding a time to have you on. So appreciate that nomination. Now, the last thing is, do you have anything else you want to let those that are watching and listening know about what you have going on?
Yeah. First of all, let's just hit it from the top now. You can find me at chefjowan.com. That's ChefJohwan.com. My products is listed on Amazon, Shopify, Etsy, and you also purchase the products off the website also.
Well, there we go. Thank you so much, Chef Johwan, for coming on. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on here, learning about your experience, learning about what got you going, the inspirations that you've had. It has been an absolute blast. I would love to have you back on, and definitely excited to share with everyone that is watching and listening as those new products drop, whether they be your season blends or your new sauces when they hit. So I will definitely keep my eyes peeled for that and make sure I go ahead and share it out with the community.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on the show, my man.
Thank you. Chef Johwan, thank you so much for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast, learning about your overall experience, your histories that you've had going on with your business, and what got you to where you are today. Looking forward to the continued growth of your product lines as they roll out and get into these stores. And hey, if you are wanting to keep up with Chef Johwan's products, I will have everything linked down below so you can pick up that 716 wing sauce. And keep your eyes peeled for any announcements that roll out on his brand. And I will also share it here on the Swear Word regarding his new products as they come out. Don't forget, new episodes drop every Tuesday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central. So continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads and continue to grow the overall Swear Word community. Appreciate every single one of y'all for everything y'all do. Also want to give a shout out to podvision.io. If you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, you've hit a bump in the road and you're trying to figure things out, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for all your needs, as well as another channel sponsor, webdx.one. If you have an old website, out-of-date website, you're not happy with how things are going, maybe you had some overall changes in your organization, highly recommend checking out webdx.one for all your needs, as well as they can help streamline your business for a small or medium business size. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.